Welcome to AJ's World of Bodybuilding. And today, the chosen one, Marc Hector, is here. 3 weeks out to the biggest event in European bodybuilding history, the Arnold Classic, UK. Sit back, subscribe, and enjoy. Welcome everyone to AJ's World of Bodybuilding. And today, Marc, what's your nickname, by the way? What is your nickname?
To be honest, I'm not sure what the nickname is. I've got a few different people saying stuff. So Cal, my coach, is saying the chosen one. I've got a few people saying I look like a cartoon. So Marc the cartoon. And then there's people calling me by my surname, Hector. So I'm not sure what it is just yet.
Marc the masterpiece Hector. No?
That could work.
The masterpiece, man. Marc, before we got into it, right now, obviously Instagram is not everything, but
yeah,
right now you are the most epic physique currently we've seen on Instagram, Marc.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. I've definitely tried to put a lot more out this time around during prep in terms of how I'm looking, just to keep everyone up to date with my updates on what my physique's like, how prep's going as well. And I think the response has been really good. I've seen my Instagram going a lot more, being mentioned more on podcasts. And it's nice, in all honesty. It's good to get that feedback from people, DMs, messages, shout outs. It's really good.
Quick, if not everyone, you're young pro, just turned 34, 35?
35, yeah, 35 last week.
British, Jamaican blood is very important to get that out there, by the way, guys. Last show was in 2021, correct?
2020 was my last show.
2020. What placing did you get there at the British Grand Prix?
So the British Grand Prix, I came third, so that was my pro debut season. The show which I did before was the Europa in 2020, and I came seventh for that one.
So the third place at the British Grand Prix. Talk to us a little bit. What has happened since then? You took the whole year 2021 off, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So I took 2021 off. The feedback that I got after the British Grand Prix in 2020 was I've got an amazing shape. My physique flows well. I just need to add more size to my overall physique. And if I can keep the shape with a small waist, then they said these shows where I've been third, I'll actually be able to move up the placings and start placing first. So in my mind, it's you can't rush the process. I would have loved to have competed in 2021, but my physique wasn't at the level which I thought would have been good enough to get the first place. So I took that extra time off. I've been working hard to put on extra tissue, which I definitely have done. And my goal now moving forward for this year is to move up that placing, so from third to get some first places.
And right now in bodybuilding, there's a new type of physique. We see you got to be big, obviously, but they like this clean separation and the detail. And we saw that, especially in 2020, even though your size wasn't enough to get that Olympia placing, but the type of separation you have in your chest and your shoulders and throughout your body, is this something you train for, or is this just genetics?
I would say it's genetics. My dad has got the small waist. He's got the broad shoulders. He's got the big biceps. We've got to work a lot harder to grow the legs, but it's definitely a genetic thing because my dad has got a very small waist as well. So there's nothing specific where I think I need to train a certain way to bring out more definition. It's just something what's within me. So you see quite a lot of time with people from the Caribbean or the black bodybuilders that their skin's a little bit thicker. I don't really have that. I've got the thinner skin. So
very thin.
Yes. So when you see me hit like a side chest or most muscular, that's not something I've necessarily trained for. That's just something what's in my genetics, that's in my bloodline. And that's how my definition really pops that a little bit more, because I've got the thinner skin.
When you showed that even as an amateur, were you aware that this is like special, that we don't see this much that often? Were you aware or?
To be honest, even the very first show I done as an amateur, which was in 2012, when it was only a 4-week prep, but as I started to get leaner, I was seeing definitions and striations in my shoulders and my chest. And I was thinking, where's this come from? I didn't know this was possible. So I think even as the time's gone on now, as I've turned into pro, it's still there. And it's good to see that the same sort of level of definition is there, but I've just added the extra mass. And I think it's definitely positive.
We've seen you with, talk to us a little bit. We've seen you with different mentors. We saw you with, was it Ernie Taylor? We saw you
That's
with
right.
Abdullah. Talk to us a little bit about Callum, who is now here in Europe. He's popular, but now all of a sudden we see him, the American media finally waking up. Talk to us a little bit about how is it to work with Callum Raystrick as your coach?
It's really good, to be honest. Callum's opened my eyes to definitely different methods to what I've done before. So in terms of my training, for example, this off season, I've been doing 3 training sessions a week, which is based on leg training. So a key area to bring up for me was always I needed more mass on my legs. So we stripped things back. We went to a 3-day a week of legs, and then I went to a push and a pull split for the upper body. And I've never, ever done a push and a pull split. I've always been the bro split kind of brother ever since I started training. So we've really gone back to, I wouldn't say go back to basics, but we've gone back to the foundations and think, how are we going to get the best out of this off season to make maximum progress? So that's where the 3 leg sessions came in. We've gone for a push and pull split, push pull leg split to get the most out of the training. I think what's been good is he's not only set the training plan, but I've been able to train with him. He's very good at execution of exercises. He knows the science, he knows the biomechanics. So it's stripping things back and then working on how can we get the most out of each exercise and refining things. So when I first started training with him, his method of training is maybe 2 to 3 sets maximum. So what we call a top set, so lifting your maximum weight, and then a back off set weight where you reduce the weight down and get a few more reps. And it's not a method I've been used to. Generally, I would train and do like maybe 4 to 5 sets per exercise. But in splitting the workout up in the top set and a back off set, I've been able to move more weight, and my physique's actually progressed because I'm actually lifting heavier, but with better form and better execution. So that's really been a blessing to be able to train with my coach. I had that experience when I was out in Oxford Gym training with Abdullah, that I get the most out of my training when I'm working alongside my coach. So I've been traveling 40 to 45 minutes each way to travel to train with Cal, which I think it was needed because I want to get the best out of him. I'm a professional bodybuilder. This is my job. I've had to make what I wouldn't even call a sacrifice. I've had to make that commitment to progress in this off season.
Last year, okay, so people talked about you for some years now, Marc.
Yeah.
We've seen, obviously, Nathan Diasha, like the top British bodybuilder there. And we saw Samson Dowda really like exploding this year and last year. Maybe he's the number 1 now. That's a matter of opinion, obviously. And we have James Hollingshead, Olympia last year. Where do you see yourself amongst those names after this season is over?
To be honest, they're all individuals and they've all achieved some great stuff. From my perspective, I've not won a pro show. So where they are in terms of what they've achieved in the pro league, I've not got to that level yet. But my goal this year is to achieve that. And once I've achieved that, it's then to press on and make more progress. So to be honest, I don't compare myself to these guys. I respect them for what they've achieved in bodybuilding and what they're portraying and giving the fans. But for myself, I'm fully focused on what I need to do. And my main focus this year is to get that Olympia qualification from winning the pro show.
So the first goal, the goal all year was to win the Olympia qualification. And what is your first show? Where is it?
So my first show is the Arnold's UK, and that's 3.5 weeks out now. So I'm working really, really hard to bring my very best to the stage there, and I'm confident that that's going to happen. like I said before, the judges said that they wanted me to go away and put on more size. At the moment, my weight is holding around 272, 273 pounds. To put that in context, when I last competed in 2020, I stepped on the British Grand Prix stage at 240 pounds.
Wait. So some people might not understand your British English. You were 240 pounds at the British.
That's right. So
now you are 270. What?
So I'm between 272 and 273 pounds at the moment with 3.5 weeks.
How much you, obviously you don't exactly know, but how much does Callum say you're going to lose in the next 3 weeks? Because
it's very hard to say, but Callum said even from the very start of prep, because this is the heaviest I've ever been in an off season. So I pushed up to 304 pounds. So Callum's always said we're going to be at least 20 to 25 pounds up on my 2020 stage weight. And at a prediction sort of where I'm at now, I can quite comfortably see that I'll probably step on stage around 265. So that's about 7 to 8 pounds to pull off in 3.5 weeks, max.
And the waist is the same size?
The waist is possibly even smaller because what's happened now is my shoulders have got broader. So because my shoulders have got broader, the waist and the tapers come in even more. So I won't be surprised if the waist comes in even smaller.
And legs are up a little bit?
Legs are up a lot. Legs are up a lot. Right now, the updates, what I've been posting, it's not really doing what I would say doing me justice because I'm going through that stage where we're pushing for condition. So I'm going through the flat stage. You might see that I'm posting on a Sunday that I've had burgers or I've had a cookie. That isn't to fill me out. That's just to make sure I don't go too flat. Because if I go too flat, to then pull that back to really have my physique popping on stage, it's a very hard job. So the updates, what I'm posting, you're seeing me, but that's not me at my best. And I know Cal and his peaking processes, and this year's going to be special.
But how is it possible to gain 25 pounds of muscle with this even smaller waist? Because you've been bodybuilding for quite some time. How's this even possible? Have you just been more focused? Is it with Callum? Is it more determination? What is it?
The biggest thing, what I'm still going to come back to is the approach. So everything has been stripped back to basics. So when I say stripped back, I mean training. We've looked at the training and we think, okay, right, how are we going to get the most out of each training session? So 3 leg sessions a week, generally people can't recover from that. So the training volume has been split. So so one workout was quads. So we've got 4 or 5 exercises just on quads. The number of sets have been reduced, but we've increased the weight, which has been able to put on more mass. And then another workout is a full leg session. So we're working on hamstrings and quads. And then another quad session, which is what I really need to bring up. The third session of the week will be mainly quads and just one hamstring exercise. So everything's been really specific. But I think one of the key things is looking at exercises where you can get the most out of each exercise. So this year I've done no shoulder pressing at all, no overhead pressing. All I've done for delts is lateral raises using cables and cuffs and rear delt exercises. But if you look at my shoulders has grown. And that comes down to Cal's knowledge on how can you get the best out of my physique exercise-wise. So everyone's different. And that's what Cal's really paid attention to detail is how can I get the most out of Marc's training, what's specific to him. So he would do the same workout as me, but everything was based around what I need.
And what about the calories? Were they increased or what you usually?
Yeah, so calories, we really push calories. I think the off season, my maximum calories was around 5,000, pushing on 6,000. And then something what I've never done before is have a training day, a non-training day calorie setup. So that's something what Cal implemented for me. Protein wasn't actually that high. It was only like one gram per pound of body weight. So it was actually lower than...
That's lower than 300 then?
Yeah. So my maximum protein went to 325.
How much?
325 grams of protein.
Okay, that's not high. And Wow. And also something that I see when guys put on an extra, obviously you can't always tell, but your face was still lean. Your voice hasn't changed. Your hair is intact, because you don't have to go into detail, but you're known for being almost like you're almost like a natural. This hasn't increased at all.
What I would say is, because it's not really a topic I really go into, is Cal is very switched on. He knows how to get the most out of the athlete with the least. If you ever listen to him or ever speak to him, you'll see that he knows how things should be done. So just like with your food, for example, food is escalated over a period of time. Training is escalated over a period of time. Supplementation is escalated over a period of time. You can't go in, let's use training for an example. You can't go in and give me, let's say, 18 sets straight away. We've got to build up a level of tolerance and then build things up slowly. Know when to pull back, know when to increase. And I think that's been a major difference this year. I've never had a coach do that. It's normally, right, this is the plan, let's go on, and this is it for the weeks on end. It's completely different.
Arnold Classic, you're coming in, you're completely different body, but we have the greatest European bodybuilding event in a decade. The Arnold Classic UK now, Mark. We have James Hollingshead. We have the new sensation, Andrew Jack, who, by the way, I almost fainted when I saw him for the first. And this is the same height as you almost, and the type of some of similar structure and the separation going on there. We have Martin Fitzwater. We have Lionel Beke, who I'm praying to God he's going to nail it. We have a show.
We do have a show. And at this level in bodybuilding, there's no hiding from the biggest stages. I personally want to compete on the biggest stage. And to compete on the biggest stage, you have to compete against these other great athletes, like you mentioned. But for myself, I'm focused on the job I need to do. I've not got time to be focused on what other people are doing or what other people have achieved. For me, it's all about tunnel vision, working toward my goal. And me stepping on the Arnold stage, I want to win the Arnolds. That's what I'm going there to do.
You're going there. The only goal is to win it, correct?
Only goal is to win.
And that's what you've been saying all the time. And that's what is it at least a little bit nice when you hear the predictions around that a lot of people have you winning?
Yeah, it is really good. It's somewhat, sometimes you could say, overwhelming, because I'm definitely a person who just goes away, puts in the work, and when it's time to step on stage, we do that. I always think that it's easy to post pictures on Instagram and put a filter, and people think this is how you're looking, but under the stage lights, there's no hiding. And I can guarantee when I step on that stage, the physique that I'm going to bring is going to be the very best physique I've ever brought to the stage.
Wow. It's going to be an amazing event. 5,000 people in the audience, and very important for you. You have Weinberger as the head judge, and he's going to be the one judging you at the Olympia also. So this is something special. If you win, when you win it, do you have a show after that or no?
I've got shows definitely lined up. I do have a game plan with Cal on what we would likely do show-wise, even after winning the Arnold's UK, because that is the main goal. But I think what's important is the Olympics in Las Vegas in December. It's important to practice different peaks, different protocols, what works best. So even winning the Arnold's, one show would not be enough. I want to do a bit more of a season and still go into the Olympia knowing, right, this is the best way I could display my physique. This is the best peaking process. And that's where our game plan is.
Can you feel it, Mark, that this is, as Michael Jackson said, this is it. This is your moment. Like now, like, obviously we don't want to put more pressure because you don't really, I see you're not affected by other people's expectations because you have expectations for yourself. That's higher probably than all of us. But Can you feel that this is your time? This show is this is going to be your biggest event of all, bodybuilding event, correct?
This is going to be the biggest stage I ever stepped onto before, and I'm not fazed by it. Someone asked me today, do you feel any pressure going into this show? I feel absolutely no pressure. I'm prepared for this show well. I'm very confident in my coach and his ability. I'm doing everything what needs to be done in terms of all the different variables, what he's asking of me. And I'm very excited for this stage. It's not something where I'm thinking I need to hide or I can't achieve what I want to achieve. Regardless of who's coming to that stage, I've got one focus, and that focus is on me winning that Arnold show.
That's it, isn't it?
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. No. But when I compare myself to 2020, this isn't the same Marc Hector as 2020. This is Marc Hector who's come back, who's going to have more muscle. He's going to be better condition. He's going to be full. I'm rounder. I'm going to be harder, vascular. It's going to be a completely different physique to what anyone's ever seen before. And in 2020, I think I still brought a good physique, but this is going to be levels above. You're
going to blow that physique away, correct? With the new one. We already, and exactly it's not like you're bragging because we already seen it on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not a person who believes in bragging or being arrogant, because it's not the way I've been raised, and that's something I'll never do. But what I do believe is having the confidence within my own ability. And I think if you're going on to a stage and you're not confident in what you can bring, then you're already defeating yourself and you're setting yourself up for failure. And that's not something I'm prepared to do.
Marc, we want to thank you for coming on, for taking your time. I mean, you know, you're a busy man right now. We're so short to the show. As you know, in 2020, I already told you, I think you are the type of physique that can take the Olympia title one day. And I believe it's all going to start in 3 weeks, Marc.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate your confidence and always having the kind words. And whenever we do speak, you've always got something positive to say. So I do appreciate that. And I also appreciate you inviting me on, being on this as well, because it's an honor.
See you at Birmingham. But one thing, Can we see, for people at home, you're living with someone, we want to see her condition. Show people. Is Kerry Sexton there?
Kerry's preparing the food at the moment. She's preparing the last meal of the day.
Oh,
you said you want to see her condition as well.
Is she there?
She's there. She's there.
Kerry, can we get you on screen to show the condition? To show
what type of fitness you want to see your condition.
You want to see my condition?
Maybe you could
show people the David Beckhams of the bodybuilding.
Do you want to see like a? She can do the whole quad flex as well.
Can we see it?
You want to see that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. She's coming. Just give her 1 moment. She's preparing the food. The last meal of the day.
That's actually. What's your last meal of the day, by the way?
So actually, this prep's been different in the fact that normally I have a set meal plan, but this prep we've done something called macro tracking. So I've been eating foods within my calories, what I enjoy. So my last meal of the day is going to be, for today, it's going to be rice, it's going to be prawns, it's going to be vegetables. I've got some pineapple in there. And then after that, I've got a little bit more where I've got ground rice and also some peanut butter as well. So that's my last meal of the day.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds very good.
Yeah, I've got a good variety. I'm still going to be hungry after, but hungry is what I am for the win. So it's fine.
That sounds good. That sounds pretty good. Are you a good cook? Who cooks the food? I've seen. Oh, no, you're horrible at cooking, I think, isn't it?
I'm not horrible. I can cook the rice. Gary's not very good at cooking rice, but.
Okay, because I've seen some stories about the rice thing. It was she that can't cook rice, or is it you?
Yes, Kerry can't cook rice, but Kerry's a very good cook.
Okay, Kerry, let's see the conditioning now. We have to see. Can you see
They want to see the quad flex.
How are we going to do this?
So this is Kerry Sexton, Bikini Pro. She is 12 days out from it. Oi, Marc. This is like a wellness girl now.
We need to put some light on me.
We need to see some.
Yeah, I know. I look like a wellness.
So this is crazy, guys. Bikini girls are not like the past. Now they are super athletes, correct?
That is correct.
The quad shake.
Good luck, Kerry. What's the show you're doing?
So it's the Italy show in 12 days.
What's the mindset? Is it to win or place or be in the top 3?
Yeah, it is. It is to win. It is. I think it's pointless going in it to not win. And yeah, so.
Good luck with Kerry. You have a big fan base. I hope they want to see the victory, Kerry. They want to see it.
I'm going to do my absolute best. Honestly, I really am. I've been working really, really hard since the last show. So yeah.
Good luck. And last thing, Kerry, who's going to win Arnold Classic UK bikini? Just say one name.
It's really, I don't know. I really don't.
Say, Ashley Court, wasn't she winning?
She does pop into my head, yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably say her.
Okay, I'll see you guys in Birmingham.
Yes.
Okay, Mark. I see you.
Okay, thanks for your time, AJ.
See you in Birmingham and kill it the last 3 weeks now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.